So in this video, I'm going to tell you the 5 clear signs that you are destined to fail in your life. So listen closely.
I think we all have the point. Everyone just tries to steal everything from it.
Within the first 5 minutes of each call that I'm on with new clients, I know within the first 5 minutes, I know if they're going to be coachable or not. I know if they're going to be able to succeed or not. No matter how much I try to help them, it's pretty much impossible for me to help them. So here are the 5 signs that you don't want to fall into. Number 1, you believe that it's everyone else's fault except your own. When your life sucks, when things don't happen the way you want them to, you really believe that is the fault of the system, it is the fault of other people, it is the fault of society, and it is not your fault. Well, this is the worst of all things, because if you believe that one thing, then pretty much you're guaranteed to be a victim. Basically, you're saying that you have no control over your circumstances, you have no control over your life, you have no control over what happens to you. So for example, something bad happens to you, let's say you lack confidence in your life, you lack self-confidence to start a business, to approach that pretty girl like in your classroom or whatever you want to do, okay? You lack that confidence, now you're going to blame it, instead of taking responsibility and trying to change yourself, you're going to blame it on your parents, you're going to blame it on society, you're going to blame it on, your parents, for example, because they didn't raise you well, they didn't teach you how to be confident, and so on and so forth. You're giving yourself barriers, you're giving yourself obstacles that are not even there, that are imaginary, and you believe that those obstacles are under the control of other people, not under your control. That becomes a huge issue. I work part-time as a collections agent, and money is really one of the most emotional topics that people can bring up. Most people believe that who has control over their finances, really the bank institutions. And I see it a lot with clients that call me to get their to refinance their debt, or they have trouble with debt, and now they ask their credit card company that to lower their interest, and we say no, this is the interest we have, this is the lowest we have, and they get incredibly angry, incredibly agitated, and they keep blaming the institutions. And those people who do that really are the people who will always be poor and always will be struggling financially. And if I look at their financial statements, really you look at their spending habits, and it's absolute fucking mayhem. Just a guy, it happens a lot. I see people are $22,000 in debt, $22,000 in debt, and they work at McDonald's. And I remember one of those guys, he wanted to speak to a supervisor. I'm like, yeah, sure, let me put you on the line. I just need to speak to my supervisor, see if he wants to speak to you. And my supervisor was just straight up well, dude, you just gotta tell the client, you just tell him to be careful with his spending habits. And I mean, us as a bank, there's nothing we can do to fix him. He has to take responsibility for his debt, for his financial situation. And by the way, working at fucking McDonald's, $10 per hour, that's not gonna make you rich. Basically, you have to take responsibility for your life, whether it be your finances, whether it be your love life, whether it be your health, whether it be your, health, wealth, relationships, whatever you want to work on, you're going to take responsibility for it, because no one else will. No one else is going to take responsibility for you. No one else is going to better your life for you. No one. Not even your parents, not even your spouse, nobody but you. Number 2 sign that you're destined to fail is that you reject any point of view. You reject any idea or worldview that contradicts your current worldview, right? Now, what is a worldview? A worldview is your way of seeing the world. Maybe it's, it's just your paradigm, the way that you believe things to be in the world, and you believe life to work, right? And anytime that you'd receive an opinion that contradicts your way of seeing things, you reject it, right? I posted a video about the rant about PUA not too long ago, and then there were comments of people that were saying oh, PUA doesn't work, only looks matter, right? And if you try to reason with those guys, they'll say, no, it's all that matters is looks. And they like to call themselves the black pill guys, which is basically I like to call it the sort of loser virgin, will never have any success in life guys. It's because they believe this bullshit. And if you try to help them, they don't even want to be helped, because they cannot accept anything that contradicts what they believe in. What you do by rejecting contradicting information is that you isolate yourself in your own echo chamber. You isolate yourself in your sort of your own worldview of things and your own ways of living, and then, you know, how can you grow if you are not open to learning? That's basically it. Number 3 sign that you're destined to fail is that you believe that you're better than others. In other words, you're arrogant. You believe that you're superior than others, that you have more value than others, and you believe that you're above it all, right? And there's a lot of people like that. And yes, some people, because of their sort of fake confidence, sort of confidence based upon being better than others at certain things, they can get some level of success, okay? They're not gonna be like super successful, they're not gonna be happy, of course. They're not gonna be fulfilled, of course. Most of those people are pretty angry and miserable, which is something you can see in the PUA community, for example. So those types of people, really, there will have a glass ceiling to their growth, because through comparison, really, you can never really win that game, because comparison is like this sort of competing against others. It's like you against the world sort of paradigm instead of you with the world. You with the world is a lot more welcoming, a lot more peaceful of a paradigm, and is a lot more sort of, it will help you just have a happier, more fulfilling life. And if you always put yourself in a place where you're either better or worse than others, you're always going to be comparing yourself to others. And this is something that, you know, maybe you struggle with a lot, right? If you keep scrolling on social media, and you keep sort of tabs with all of that, your friends, your family, and your friends of friends of friends of friends, and then, you know, it's just this huge mess. And then you see people that like finish their degree and that they become like doctors or engineers, and you're like, wow, congrats. And then you see, like, you look at yourself and you're still living at home at age 22, haven't finished college, haven't finished university, nothing, and you have no clue what you're gonna do with your life, and you still play video games 14 hours a day. Of course, you're gonna feel like shit, right? Yes, you could maybe try to compare yourself, or like how you're better than like this other 40-year-old virgin that still lives with his mother. Yeah, you can build a superiority complex around that. And there's some people who even build a superiority complex in freaking through video games, because they have no, like, I see, you know, when I play video games, for example, Counter-Strike, and I see a lot of bullies on Counter-Strike because they have no, outside of the game, they have no sense of self-worth. They have no self-esteem. They have no life outside of the game. So then they sort of like lash out their anger inside the game, and it gives them this sort of feeling of importance, right? This sort of superiority mindset of like, I'm better than you at this game, therefore I deserve to be screaming at you and telling you how you suck at the game. And I've seen this a lot, sort of players who become entitled in the video game. And you know, if you've played a video game, don't tell me this never happened to you. This is super common in sort of the toxic culture in games. Number 4 sign that you're destined to fail is that you just want someone to tell you that it's okay to be mediocre. And you just want someone to tell you that, you know, you suck right now, and it's okay to suck. You just be a piece of shit, it's fine. But, you know, there's nothing wrong with wanting a hug. There's nothing wrong with wanting support. There's nothing wrong with having friends, close friends. In fact, you need those in your life. You need this sort of support. You need this emotional support, whether it be from a romantic partner, your parents, or your close friends. You need that type of support, yeah. But you shouldn't want friends that, you know, encourage you to be mediocre. Certain people who come on these calls with me, those free calls, and then really, I can sense that they don't really want my advice. They don't really want to grow. They just want someone to say, yeah, it's okay what you're going through. Yeah, this girl is a bitch for betraying you. Yeah, this guy is an asshole for letting you down. Yeah, those teachers suck. Your parents suck. Yeah, like I said, if you just want me to agree with you, if you just want me to confirm your worldview, then I'm sorry to say, but like, you're pretty much saying that you don't want to grow. You're pretty much saying that you want to fail. The first step for you to want to be able to succeed at life, to be happy in life, and to be fulfilled in life is to stop accepting mediocrity in your life, right? It is a paradox, I understand. It is a paradox where on one hand, you want to be accepting of your emotions. You want to be okay with your emotions. But on the other hand, you also want to move beyond those feelings of mediocrity, right? So it's this double-edged sword where on one hand, you want to be accepting of the emotions, but at the same time, you want to be willing to wrestle with them if you need to. You need to be able to juggle with them and dance with your emotions in a way, in an artful way, and make something out of these emotions instead of just wallowing in your own self-pity. Right? There's a difference between self-pity and self-acceptance. The one about self-pity, the one about like rumination, is really wallowing in your negativity and doing nothing about it and just letting things get worse and worse and worse. Self-acceptance, on the other hand, is like, you know what? I'm feeling like shit right now. My circumstances are like shit, but that's okay. And I accept myself even though this is shitty. And you know, I'm gonna do my best to move beyond that. And if I fell along the way, that's totally fine. If I fell a few times, if I bruised my head or my knee a few times, it's totally fine, as long as I'm moving forward. That is self-acceptance. And that's what I want to encourage for you. Number 5 sign that you're destined to fail at life is that you leave things to chance. You leave things to chance, meaning that you wait for things to come to you. You wait for opportunities to come to you. You wait for things and events to come to you or people to come to you to save you. Well, this is not going to happen. You need to make things happen for yourself, right? The people that wait for that special promotion 4 years from now, or they wait for that special someone to approach them and so then they can become married, forever happy, those people who wait in life, that they'll be waiting forever. If the people who don't take action in life and wait for things to happen, those things rarely happen. And I don't mean to be a downer for those who believe in the law of attraction, and I'm sure it helps to visualize, and I've done it and it really helps, but you also got to take action at the same time. You can't just sit on your ass and expect things to come to you. No one is coming to save you. No one is coming to save you from your depression, your misery, your quarter-life crisis. No one is going to take you by the hand and bring you to a brighter future. If you're stuck with your parents, living with your parents, what tells you that you're just gonna fundamentally just vanish and have your own place, have your own career, and just living the life of your dreams, right? Who tells you that? If you're still stuck with your parents playing video games, then you gotta move out of there as soon as possible. If you're addicted to social media, and you gotta do something about it. Don't just leave things to chance that someday you're gonna stop being addicted to social media. Bonus number 6 sign that you're destined to fail is that you harshly criticize people. Especially criticize those who are successful. If you criticize what you cannot have, if you criticize people for being successful, guess what? You're never going to be successful. Let me repeat that. If you criticize people who are successful in whatever area you want to be successful at, you're never going to be successful. Why? Because if you do reach that success, it's because you're criticizing people, for example, for having money, or for charging people $3,000 to work with them, guess what? You're never ever in your life going to be able to charge someone that amount of money for your services. Because if you're arrogant to the point that you have to judge people for the amount of success they got, then you're basically saying, well, if I were to reach that amount of success, then I would hate myself for it, right? I would be an asshole as well. So you see, it's impossible to get what you judge, right? So it's for example, if you ever heard girls gossip around each other, that they a certain girl gossip about another girl and calls her a slut, calls her a whore, calls her this, calls her that, and then this girl wonders why she's sort of repressed and she's all stuck up and she can't let go with a guy, or she cannot be herself around a man, right? Or a guy who's shames those assholes, oh, those players just keep getting all the girls and all that. And then he wonders why he's so shy and he cannot get out of his shell and go to a party and have fun, right? And socialize, and why he's so lonely, right? Does that make sense to you, right? Does that even make sense? So I know some of you guys subscribe to my channel. Maybe not you speaking, but some of my subscribers are toxic fans. I have toxic fans, and I mean, comment whatever the heck you want. I know you guys are toxic fans. You come to my videos every week. You leave comments and you say this video sucks, whatever. And it's the same guys every week. And I'm Well, why do you keep watching my videos if you hate them so much? For you guys, right? Or for any hater who's gonna stumble upon that video, think about it, right? What you hate about me is probably something that you want in yourself that you're unable to achieve, right? So for people, for example, who hate on my mask, hate on, my brand, hate on what I'm wearing or whatever, they think it's weird, really, it's because they don't dare to be original themselves. They don't dare to be creative. They don't dare to put themselves out there and start a YouTube channel, publish content out there and be outside of the ordinary. By judging the weird and the abstract and judging what is strange and different, they're basically telling to themselves, I would never dare to be that creative. I would never dare to be that different. I would never dare to have people judge me. And because of that, they will never fucking succeed. Who are you? What kind of person are you? If you know someone that has those traits, let me know in the comments, or let me know if you have any of these. So thank you for watching, but don't stop right there, right? Personal development is a habit that you want to cultivate every day of your life. So click on my videos right there. You're gonna see them pop up, and I'll see you on the next video.